Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining the next session. Today we have Anurag Memboria and Sakshi Prana to speak on topic driving CX with AI-powered sustainable Sitecore Solutions. Giving a brief about Anurag, he is a lead consultant and Sitecore certified developer, and Sakshi is two-time Sitecore MVP and solution consultant. So let me hand over mic to them. Over to you.
Hi, thanks, and Arjun. Thanks, Kaushik, for having us here. We'll quickly get started. Hi, good evening, everyone. Hope my screen is visible and I'm audible.
Yes, Sakshi.
Yes, clearly.
So, our topic for today is driving customer experience with AI-powered sustainable Sitecore solutions, bringing in a comprehensive, sustainable digital marketing. Okay, so I think Arjun has already given a brief here, but I'll just talk briefly about Anurag and me. So Anurag is almost having 14 years of experience in the IT industry. He's worked, I think, along the lines of Sitecore, starting from Sitecore 9, 10, and then he's done certifications as well. And currently he's also exploring a lot of AI models on the Sitecore platform. So I thought that, it'll be good if we could, do some session and share it with all of you around how, AI can help bring in sustainability, and it can also, enhance some of our work and bring in efficiency in the system. So I and myself, I'm joining as a two-time MVP here. I'm working as a pre-sales consultant, as a delivery manager, and working on Sitecore and growing the Sitecore practice. So we'll just quickly get started with the session. So before we get started, so the topic is about sustainability, AI. Can any of you, talk about and say, what does sustainability actually mean before we get started? Anyone, maybe just what do you understand from sustainability? I just want to make this more interactive than, keeping it just monologue from our end. Of course, we will keep the questions in the end.
Yeah,
Consistent.
that means for the, changing ourselves as for the future scope. We'll think
Yeah,
about the
so
future.
basically, it's more of, thinking of how we can bring in efficiency so that the future generations are also benefited, bring in, some kind of changes in the environment, in the architecture, which can, benefit for the future as well as the current generations. And then we are going to talk, how AI will bring that mix here. So this is today's agenda where we are going to talk about sustainable customer experience, what Sitecore is doing to bring in sustainability, what is there from the functional as well as from the technical perspective, then how AI is driving sustainability. And then we also have a demo, which is our showstopper for the day, wherein we will showcase you how, AI can build in that efficiency and bring in sustainability. So just to start briefly, so sustainable customer experience is basically delivering something which is not only exceptional, but it is also helping the environment to be better. It is ethically and socially being responsible so that we can, have a long-term business goal as well as, fulfill things for the future generations. So what are the key elements which will actually drive this sustainable customer experience? So it's basically having a brand alignment, which is purposefully driven. You should have inclusivity and accessibility so that whatever you're building as a solution, it is inclusive for everyone. It is accessible to everyone. There's a lot of stress being put on AA and AAA standards for accessibility. So that, especially for the clients in the US region, in the European market, a lot of stress is put on that. So are we driving our solutions in such a way that they are inclusive and accessible to all? Are we bringing in flexibility and scalability in the system? This could be in terms of architecture, in terms of utilizing the cloud requirements, the data requirements, managing your entire infrastructure as a whole. So all of these things, drive sustainability and customer experience. And then how much, loyalty we are bringing in, how much conscious interactions are happening, how are we driving this growth through a multi-channel delivery. So all of these things come into purview, which not only brings in customer experience, but also brings in sustainability into the mix. Okay. So how is Sitecore actually doing this? So if you see, as digital customer engagement is continuing to grow, so is the environment footprint, because as long as there's so much of connections that are happening, so much of personalization is happening. Sometimes people are logging in through their tabs, sometimes they are driving things through their mobile phones. There's a lot of digital print happening. Okay, so sometimes you are putting in details on Instagram, sometimes on LinkedIn. It's spread across, so the data is increasing, and therefore the environment footprint is also increasing. And how is Sitecore addressing these challenges is something which we will look into today's session. So Sitecore is bringing sustainability by building a smart architecture. So not only are we considering the traditional MVC approach, but we are moving towards a headless approach. SXA came into picture, JSS came into picture. Now we have the XM Cloud, which is totally a headless model and is being promoted along with technologies such as Next.js and React.js. So that is the smart architecture that we are bringing in together. Then we have efficient content strategies, how we manage the content, how it is being created by the content authors, how it is being marketed. All of that has to, being thought of before, you achieve sustainability. In terms of in terms of digital asset management, how you are maintaining your entire digital, what is your archival process? Are there any duplications happening in the content? Can we remove those deduplications? Can AI help in those kind of strategies? So all of that comes as part of taxonomy and digital asset management. Now coming on to personalization. So personalization also, how we can bring in sustainability within personalization by doing the right targeting, by doing the right segmentation, and then considering the omni channels which are mostly used by the folks, and then delivering the personalized customer experience to those channels through the to the customers through these channels. So this is what it all takes to bring in sustainability. And these are some of the parameters which actually, Sitecore is driving to bring in the sustainability model. So this is something which talks about, in general, what are the sustainability parameters that are driving and helping the digital marketing initiatives. So you see the use of SaaS platform that is coming up nowadays. Even, the changes that have come in the Sitecore, where most of the products, your CDP, Content Hub, XM Cloud, are totally on a SaaS-based model. So basically, you are paying per use. This reduces your infrastructure cost, how you are actually utilizing the entire infrastructure. So if there's a spike in your traffic, supposingly, in terms of Christmas, there's a lot of traffic on the channels where there's a lot of buying that is happening in the US region for the Christmas, for the New Year. So you can increase your infrastructure at that time to manage your load, and then you can decrease it once you feel that there's a dip that has come in the traffic. So all of these things can be effectively managed by a SaaS based platform, which is the new infrastructure that people are trying to host all of the products. Similarly, reducing the hosting complexities so that products like XM Cloud, CDP, personalized content hub can be managed easily on the environment. Then there is easy API integrations and multi-site, multilingual integration support that is coming in to drive the entire digital marketing scenarios. So here we see that there is a reduction in the infrastructure cost. We are improving the marketer productivity. We are increasing the conversions by providing the right solution to the right customer at the right time with personalized content, which is the need of the hour these days. And then also bringing in future upgrades and reduction in that cost. So because you are on a SaaS environment, so any updates that are happening will actually be an auto update. So like for XM or XP, you have to, go for an upgrade. There's an entire process, an implementation plan has to be kept in place. So all of those efforts will actually be reduced by going with the SaaS platforms, which will avoid these kind of cost, and it will be a direct upgrade that will be provided. Similarly, it brings in increased campaign conversions because you will know which channel to go to, what is the target customer, what is his likes, dislikes, what is his interest. And based on that, you can bring in increased campaign conversions and similarly increase your customer self-service. So these are some of the generic points which we talked about related to sustainability and digital marketing. Now, next we will delve more into what are the functional and the technical perspectives based on the specific Sitecore CMS platform. So I think most of you know Sitecore is following the composable digital experience platform approach. And now from composable, it is also bringing in the intelligent DXP, which is because of the product Sitecore Stream, which has been launched into the mix. So this composable DXP approach actually helps to streamline the entire marketing operations. And it is, bringing in that headless architecture into mix, which is in turn driving a lot of efficiency and increasing the page performance and page load for the websites that are, delivered as part of the CMS platform. Then coming on to AI personalization. So marketers are basically personalizing the entire content, which is user behavior, the user preferences, the demographics which the person belongs to. And all of this is being done through the AI and ML integrations, which help assist the entire marketers to automate this entire flow process. So you don't have to write, traditional rules to build your personalization. All of that gets reduced and automated with the help of AI. Similarly, we just talked about omni-channel delivery, how we can coordinate and manage all the touch points across different channels based on the customer's preference and preferred channels. So that is one part of it. Then content hub and digital asset management is also playing an important role in bringing in the customer experience and sustainability. So we are promoting asset reuse so that, we are not bringing in a lot of content which is of the same type into the system, which will increase the data usage. We are bringing in better governance by managing this entire ecosystem. And as I earlier said, we are also removing the duplicate contents from the system and efficiently managing the entire archival process. So this is part of the content hub and digital asset management solution. And then data-driven decisioning is also happening. So like I said earlier, managing the traffic spikes is one of the key criteria there. Then also, CDP is used to monitor the entire campaign performances, optimize the entire targeting, where actually we can look into the analytics and then focus on, what is the criteria that should be taken into considerations for giving personalized content to the customers. So this is from a functional perspective. So this is just a basic slide which talks about, conventional and the headless approach. So if you look at the conventional side of it, it is mostly, the entire front end part, that is your UI components, everything is actually merged into the HTML itself. And it is a completely traditional approach where everything is managed and hosted from the CMS itself. So that is why that brings in a user performance which is decreased, and the performance goes down because of that. But on the other hand, if you look at the headless approach, so basically your Next.js acts as a separate layer, and your only the content is actually managed as part of the Sitecore system. So it's a completely decoupled architecture where your front end is separate, which helps to bring in the performance improvement within your system. Your Next.js will support all the static content generation, which will help you in faster page loads. It will help to improve the search engine optimization performance. And all of that is totally separate from the content. So content is only stored in your Sitecore CMS, whereas your front end is totally built on the headless architecture. So just to give you a perspective of conventional traditional model versus the headless approach, and how it will drive a better performance, better reusability, and better page loads and SEO. Now coming on to the technical perspective, because I know you all might be waiting for looking at what is AI bringing into the mix and what is the demo. So I'll quickly cover the technical perspective, and then I'll hand it over to Anurag also to talk about things. So from the technical perspective, cloud native infrastructure plays an important role, which actually supports your auto scaling, and it reduces the idle server load. So if you're managing everything on an on-prem infrastructure, you have to maintain those infrastructure. You have to, always keep that infrastructure even if it is not being used. But here you go with the pay-per-use model. Similarly, serverless edge delivery is something, which is leveraging edge renderings and serverless functions. So that is also, leading to a lower compute load, and it is improving the performance of the system. Similarly, webhooks and APIs is something which is being used nowadays. Especially, we see these integrations happening with XM Cloud, which reduce the backend resource consumption, and it helps to bring in the efficiency in the system. SEO page performance we already covered. So from the data dynamic media optimization platform, we are actually able to automatically resize and convert images. So because we are able to resize them, that is why we are able to reduce the time to transfer this data across the web. So that is another reason which brings in efficiency and in turn brings in sustainability. So these are some of the parameters, and just to give you a glimpse of sustainability as a whole, then bringing in customer experience, how Sitecore is playing an important role in bringing in sustainability, and then what are the functional and the technical aspects to drive this entire sustainability in the market. So this is more from the you can say detailing perspective, but let's jump more into the technical stuff of sustainability being driven by AI for Sitecore, and we will showcase you some of the demos which will let you get a glimpse of how AI can be used in driving efficiency and sustainability for Sitecore. And I would like to hand it over to Anurag to take it forward. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, we can address that. Over to you, Anurag.
Yes, actually, thank you. Am I audible to everyone?
Yeah, you can share your screen maybe.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen.
Any questions, guys, in the meantime?
Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Or maybe you can ping in the chat and we can address those questions.
Mhm.
I'll stop sharing, maybe you can share.
It's connecting. I don't know why it's taking time to share. It's still showing connecting.
Are you getting the sharing option?
Yes, I'm getting. I'm just sharing entire screen and just click on the share.
Yeah, maybe share the entire screen and then click on the share button, which is there at the bottom again.
Is it possible, Sakshi, you can share?
Is it
I
visible
think
now?
it's visible now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just sharing now. Okay. So finally, I sorted out. Yeah. So into the demo, actually, I will start with the XM Cloud. How XM Cloud is uh, using the XM Cloud, how we can achieve the sustainability, and I will show you with the Next.js. Okay, this is a headless implementation. Okay. So first, I would like to bring some point how XM Cloud is providing the sustainability to the smart web development. Okay, so whenever we start our smart web development using XM Cloud using Next.js, so first we'll try to optimize the performance because Next.js features like a static site generations. So where we minimize the JavaScript code, which always responsible to the slowing the speed of the websites and uh, uh, creating the issue into the optimization performance. Okay, so that's reason XM Cloud is we generally use for the Next.js, and Slide Course Cloud also bring a main role to cut the energy usage, low carbon emissions, and using the resource efficiently. Okay, so when I'm talking about the auto scaling, so it's always over provisioning, lower idle compute power waste, and optimizing the media libraries. Okay, you can see that whenever we go for the CMS migration, so assets always creating the issue because they have a lot major chunk of size of the images, media files, videos, and all the documents. Okay, so this is also will impact the costing, storage, and also computations power. Okay, so this will all we focus into the demo. So I will start with the XM Cloud and I will till reach out to the AI. Okay, so next is I'm just before that coding part, I will start from the XM Cloud. So this is the XM Cloud. You can see that page editor window, correct? So first I'm going to create one page. The demo page. Then here I'm going to create a container. So actually here I'm just to add one component. Then I will show how we can get the JSON, and this JSON I will show you how we can reduce the our programming, and then how we can reduce the computation, storage codes, and everything. Okay, if I here. I'm just adding the component here. So here I added one component. So what is here? I'm just setting the variant. It's not changed. Okay, so this is component is added. If I browse it, so generally next.js will get the response into the JSON response only. So here I'm just showing that just a hard coded this thing as a JSON response, and I'm adding one field value. Okay, so that means maybe in previous time you can see that we have a lot of bulk JSON response we got it, and here a lot of fields are there. Okay, so if we go via programmatically approach, like here I'm using next.js and I'm iterating each field. Okay, suppose I want 10 fields or 15 fields, so I need to be create one model. Okay, and I have to define all the fields, what fields I required. Okay, so if I go in that way, of course it will programmably source code also will increase, and computations power waste also will increase, and will not be achieve the sunset sustainability 100%. Okay, because I need to be create more lot of model classes to get the exact JSON fields. Okay, whatever you require. Okay, and that fields of course will move to the maybe other platform for the CMS migration. We need to be load into the other CMS, or we need to be place this in other like any other platform. Okay, so that we need to be convert into the respective format which we need to be required into the destination CMS or any destination platform. So in between, whenever we getting the extract JSON data and we need to be loaded, so into this process we need to be write lot of source code. We need to be create a lot of model classes. To process all this data also we need to be write a lot of business logic. So that processing, costing, storage, everything will be increased. So we cannot achieve 100% sustainability. Okay, so maybe I will show you that what source code we can write over there. Okay, sorry. But actually I'm just trying to start my no product. One second, I'm just open another document. This one. Let me just visual for you. Okay, so here you can see that all the fields are there, like whatever I need to be required to extract from the JSON. Okay, and beneath that we need to be write some business logic to iterating all the fields value from this extracted JSON. Okay, I use export and everything. Okay, so here you can see that we need to write couple of lines or to reiterate all this value. Okay, and here also I'm just highlighting this JSON response. So suppose I need a specific title, descriptions, image, so I need to be get all this value from the respective object, and then I need to be send it over to the, I need to export it, and need to be save some of the place maybe into the file any DevOps, and then uh, need to be write other business logic to convert into the respective format, which need to be helped to upload into the destination platform. So this is the way we need to do lot of work. Okay, so here what we can do that here that AI comes into the picture. Okay, so maybe we all know that we have a AI deployment models. Okay, so what we can do that we need to be use extract JSON, which I uh, told you earlier, and that extract JSON will be used to train our API deployment model. So once the training will be completed, then we'll do the retrieval from the deployment model. Okay, like we are using any other AI platform like ChatGPT, Copilots, and everything. We know all these features. So here we are writing the prompts, and we get the exact response what we required to load into the our destination platform. So that way we can reduce the model size, remove and reduce the complexity of our code, reduce the costing. Okay, and this strategy we also we can optimize our resources, and it will provide the long-term efficiency. Okay, this is the second benefit. And third benefit, we optimize our data storage, because earlier we are using the SQLs, any other data storage platform. We need to be write the store procedure functions, lot of things we need to be process our data to get the exact output. But here if we train our API model with our data, then here we need to be write only prompt and we retrieve our data. Even we can convert this suppose if I take any example destination CMS, and here we required to load the in XML format. Okay, so we write the prompt according to this way, we'll get this specific field, convert into the XML, and then we'll get the exact output and we load into our destination platform. So that's way also we can achieve it, and it will save our efforts, it will increase the sustainability, and also it will provide a better efficient code and stable things. Okay, so here next thing is that here we can I will show you one more thing, how we can train our data. So here we can select our API deployment model which is available by Azure, and then here we can just add our training data, and then here also once we training data upload, so it will fine tune the model. So there are two steps. First we need to be fine tune our API model, like train it, provide the training, and then we need to be deploy it. So there are several ways to do that. This is the manual approach which we are seeing here, and also we can achieve via programmatically as well. Okay, so first programmatically we can use the machine learning DLLs, we can use a Python script, or we can use the API. So there are two APIs are available into there. So currently I'm just showing how we can achieve via machine learning. Okay, so inputs. So that model inputs will specify like how many fields we require that. Okay, and then we'll go to that some this is just some JSON inputs only. Then we need to be convert it into using decentralized object, and then we need to be pass into one ML machine learning context. Okay, then it will provide the data view, and the next step will create a one pipeline. Okay, and then we can into the pipeline will pass this our data to into the fit method, and then it will train it. Okay, so this is the one way why I achieve the machine learning. And then also after that we need to be deploy it. Okay, so that part currently I'm not covering. Okay, so this is the way we can provide a training to the our API deployment model. Okay, so here once we'll provide the training, then we need to be write the prompt and we'll get the our data into according to our requirement. Okay, so this is the one way. Okay, next thing. So I'm just giving one example over there because some of the deployment model we can provide the manual deployment. They will allow the manual deployment, but same deployment sometimes same deployment model will not support with the programmatically. Suppose if I'm taking example of GPT-4, okay, so GPT-4o and GPT-4o mini that will provide the fine tuning and deployment using the programmatically. Maybe we can use the Python scripting, or maybe we can write a C# code for that. Okay, and that way before choosing any deployment model, we need to be check like which supported, and then we can go with the specific deployment model. And also it will provide, like we need to be checking Azure portal like how many transaction we can do that per hour, or it will charge something. Okay, so that part also we need to be checked before starting to the select any deployment model. So Sakshi, this is all I have. If I
Thanks, Anurag. Any questions anyone has?
So I have a question, Anurag. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So as you shown the code for the machine learning, and that's how you're capturing the information, and I think you're sending it to the Sitecore, right? So how this AI powered personalization will happen in this context? Like, do you have any example for that?
Yeah. So even machine learning, we are not sending back to the site code. We are extracting the data from the site code, and then we are this input we are providing to the machine learning for the training of the deployment model. So next step, it's a fine tune the deployment model, which we need to be selected. Once fine tune will be completed, then we'll do the deployment to the using any specific API or any machine learning classes which can do that. So there are two processes. First, three steps: extracting the data, fine tune the data respective of the API model, and then deploy it. So once deployment will be done, then you can see that in Azure we have one option, chat option. So where we can select a specific deployment model, then we can write the prompt and hit it, and need to be checked if our response is coming or not. If the response is coming, then of course we are in good shape. Then we can write the code, and then we can achieve via programmatically. So that's how we can achieve it.
Okay. Yeah. And anything on component personalization via AI?
Yeah, component personalization also a advantage of the AI, how we can achieve personalization AI. But I never explored, Martin. Maybe I will get back to you on this. I just covered that part only, like how we can extract the JSON and how we can deploy it.
No problem. Yeah. Thank you, Anurag.
Does anyone has any more questions? Okay. Thanks, Sakshi and Rag, for giving such a insightful session. We learned a lot from this, and thanks everybody for joining this session. Cheers. Have
Thanks,
your
Arun.
nice weekend ahead.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.